Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, guys, today's video is actually a collaboration. This is the Fabulous Fall DIYs. We have got Crafty Kathy, the Distressed Princess DIY, myself, and also Farm Charm Chic. But I will tell y'all a little bit more about that when we get into the video. I just wanted to let y'all know, though, these are Dollar Tree DIYs. I've put together nine DIYs for y'all. And then the 10th one is actually a tiered tray. So let's get ready for this and jump right in. Alrighty, y'all, so for this first one, I have got 3 of these cute little pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take some of my Aleene's tacky glue and water mixture. It's just like Mod Podge. It's just cheaper to me, and I think it's more efficient. But anyways, I'm just going to paint all of the pumpkins with that. Because they are like a type of, I don't know, ceramic or glass or whatever they're made of, they have that shiny, slick surface to them. So I knew my paint was not going to stick unless I primed these in some way. So this was just my way of priming them. I'm going to be using antique wax and also plaster by Waverly, along with the new shade of blue, Night Sky, and also celery, both from Waverly. And then also, I'm going to be using a little bit of the Ceramicoat Antique Wax. Now, I just used these paints to paint my pumpkins. I actually mixed up a color for the blue. I used that Night Sky blue and also the Ceramicoat Antique Wax. I just mixed that up to make a lighter blue. But I just painted my pumpkins. I gave all 3 of them about 2 or 3 good coats. I'm then going to go in with the antique wax and give these some dimension. I'm also going to use some of that plaster chalk paint to kind of highlight the pumpkins. But I'm just going to do that just to give these pumpkins a really nice look. I'm also going to take some twine and wrap the stem of the smallest pumpkin. Now, what we're going to be doing is gluing these pumpkins all together. So the top stem is the only one that I needed to wrap with the twine. Now, as I'm gluing these together, I am adding some reindeer moss to the glue that kind of oozes out from underneath it, if that makes sense. You'll see here in a minute. I'm going to put plenty of hot glue up top. I just keep putting it around it, and then I'm going to squish that pumpkin right down on top, and then use my moss to get any of the excess glue that came out from underneath it. So stinking simple, y'all. This turns out so cute too. I've been wanting to make a topiary all season, and this was the first chance I got to do it. So I took some eucalyptus stems. I just took some of the leaves off of a stem and glued those to my top pumpkin. I'm then going to take some of the hula skirt from the Dollar Tree and just make a simple little shoestring bow. We're going to use that up top, but I'm also going to use some of the black and white buffalo check, gingham, whatever you want to call it, but we're going to be using some of that to make a shoestring bow as well. Just a simple little bow. And we're going to put those 2 bows together on top of our topiary. So I first added in the gingham bow. And then I'm just going to add another little dab of glue and add in my raffia bow. So stinking cute, y'all. It was so simple. And check out how adorable this is. I love it. guys, for this next one, I have got this tobacco basket that I picked up at the Dollar General for $3. Can you believe that? And then I've got some words that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to take some of this white twine. It's like a cotton twine, macrame cord, whatever you want to call it. But I picked it up at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that to tie my word to the tobacco basket. Very, very simple. I just looped it through one of the holes in the word and then tied it right on the side of the basket. Same thing for the E. I'm going to go right through the hole and then tie it around in the back. Now, I could have used some thin twine from the Dollar Tree, and as you'll see when we get to putting the florals on, that's actually what I use with all of these florals is the twine from the Dollar Tree. Or the brown twine from the Dollar Tree. But I just thought that macrame cord looked better with the color of the word, if that makes sense. Now, I'm going to take some of this lamb's ear, cut it down, and kind of place it in the bottom side of the tobacco basket. I'm then just going to run a piece of twine down through it, tie it off in the back. That way it is attached, but I didn't have to use a lot of hot glue or anything. I didn't really want to put any hot glue on the basket. Now, as you'll see, the further we get into this, I am going to use hot glue, but I'm not touching the actual basket with it because I knew that I would probably want to reuse this basket in the future. But I just cut up some florals. I ended up taking the pine cone off. It was just too big. I wanted to make sure that I was able to get some pumpkins in there. But now you see I'm using the thinner brown twine. And then I'm just going to glue some pumpkins right down inside that. These are just pumpkins that came right off of those picks. So simple. Now, to finish this off, I took the back from a small picture frame, and I'm just going to add some hot glue to the basket and then add in my picture frame. And I did that so that this would stand up on our tiered tray. Because remember, all of these are for a tiered tray. We're going to make a tiered tray at the end, but I wanted to make some stuff to go on the tiered tray. So that was the point of all of these kind of smaller DIYs. But I did want this to stand up. And check out how cute this dude is. I love it. Alright guys, for this next one, and probably my favorite from today, I picked up this little sign from the Dollar General. I got it for half price. And then I got this from the Dollar Tree Plus section. It was that board, and it also came with these words. Now, I'm going to take my little sign, and I was going to tape off the bottom to paint it, and it came apart. So I was like, okay, never mind. Forget the tape. So I sanded it down. I'm going to be using Elephant Chalk Paint by Waverly, and I'm going to use that to paint this entire little block. Front and back, sides, the whole 9 yards. I gave it 2 really good coats, but I did flip it over and paint the back. I'm then going to take these gorgeous transfers from the Dollar Tree, guys. These transfers are so stinking pretty. Like, I love these so much. I would put them on everything if I could. Anyways, I just cut out the transfers. At first, I was going to use the whole page. I was just going to take the page and kind of lay it up against it, but I realized I could get them closer together and more pumpkins on this if I just cut them out and used them, you know, like that with each individual section of pumpkins. So that's what I did. And then I just used my little scraper tool from the Dollar Tree to put these on. They're so easy to work with. You just have to be sure you hold them into place really well, but they are so cute and they are so simple to work with. But I just continued this process of cutting out the pumpkins, placing them on my little sign, rubbing them in with my little scraper tool, and they look awesome. I'm telling you, they look so awesome. But I put that tape there, that way it would kind of be a barrier and there will be an actual straight line across it when I'm done. Now, we're going to take some of this Star Bond multi-purpose thick adhesive along with the accelerator, and I'm going to use that to place my word down. I did take a paint pen and go over the front of this word. It's just a little bit lighter white color than the raw wood, but you can still see the wood grain through it. I used the accelerator, sprayed it directly on my sign, and then placed down my words. So stinking simple. I added a little bit of that adhesive to the bottom of this sign, some of the accelerator, and then glued the sign back together. That is all I did to this, and I swear it's my favorite. Look how cute this thing is. Oh, I love it. Okay, number 4, and my second favorite of this video. I picked up these cute pumpkins at the Dollar General store. They were $2 a piece. I'm going to be using Antique Wax and also Plaster by Waverly, and then Antique White by Ceramicoat. I really hope that you guys do not get tired of this color combination. But what I did with these pumpkins is I just added the Ceramicoat, let that dry. I went in with my second coat of the Ceramicoat, and that is when I added the Antique Wax. I let that dry, and then I dry brushed them with the Plaster color. I also painted the stems with some Celery by Waverly, and then I made some little bows for each pumpkin. So I took some of the little skirt from the Dollar Tree, the hula skirt, and I made some bows with it, and then I had some gray and white gingham and also some black and white gingham ribbon that I picked up, I think, at Hobby Lobby or Walmart one. Anyways, and so I just added both of those bows to these little pumpkins. Guys, I think that these little pumpkins turned out so stinking cute. Oh my goodness. I love these. And they're so perfect for a tiered tray or just to have sitting out like a vignette. I mean, they are just so stinking cute. And for $2, I mean, we completely made these high end. Totally took these to the next level. I absolutely love these. Guys, so I wanted to tell y'all a little bit more about this collaboration. So this collaboration is called the Fabulous Fall DIYs. We have Crafty Kathy, we have the Distressed Princess DIY, we have Farm Charm Chic, and then obviously myself. These ladies are so amazing. They are so talented and so incredibly sweet. You definitely need to go check out their videos. They're going to have some fall DIYs for you guys. Be sure you let them know that I sent you, and check out the description box for the playlist. It will be in the description box. All right, let's jump right back in. Okay, so for this next one, and definitely one of my favorites from today, I have got a set of the maple leaves from the Dollar Tree, and then I've got a beaded garland that came in some Happy Mail that I got. So I had a viewer actually send me the beaded garland. First thing I did was lay out all of my maple leaves, and I painted them with the Antique Wax by Waverly. I put it on good and heavy. I wanted these to be kind of dark. I definitely wanted them to be darker than the beaded garland, so I put it on there and then kind of left it for a minute and then wiped off the excess. I flipped them over, wiped the excess off of the back side of them. Not too much, just enough that I was getting off any excess, but leaving enough that they would be good and dark. I dried them with my heat gun. We are then going to take the ends of this. I decided it needed some tassels. So we're going to take some yarn that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I love this yarn, y'all. I don't know what kind of yarn it is or, you know, what it's called, but it's so soft. It's just different. It's a different kind of yarn. I wrapped it around a letter that I had just sitting on my table. I wrapped it about 20 times around that letter B. I'm going to use some other twine. But first, we're going to use the twine that is on the beaded garland. So I just undid the knot that was actually on the beaded garland itself. And we're going to use that twine to put right up inside of our loops. So I just placed it right inside the loops, and then we're going to tie it into a knot. I believe I tied it into a double knot just to make sure it was good and secure. And then I'm going to take some more twine, snip off a piece, and tie that up close towards the top. Y'all have probably seen tassels made a million times on YouTube, but I thought I would show this just one time at least. I wrapped my twine around my already existing little space that I had there, double knotted it, and then snipped off the excess. I'm then going to cut my loops at the end. Just cut them right straight. Cut off the excess twine, and then we're going to cut off the bottom of the yarn. That way it'll be a nice straight line, and we have got the perfect, cutest little tassel. I love it. All right, so we're going to take these maple leaves, and I found the center of my beaded garland, and that's where I started. That's where I put my very first maple leaf. I just tied it. I tied it on with the twine that came with it. It was actually the perfect length. And then I began to count down the beads to see where my placement was going to be. And the best way to do it was for me to count 10 beads down, place one of the maple leaves, go to the other side and count 10 beads down and place one of the maple leaves. So I just continued that process down this beaded garland. Literally just counting my beads to 10, and then I would add another maple leaf. And I also added another tassel to the other side. But y'all, this turned out so nice. I mean, this is definitely high-end looking. Okay, so for these next few of them, I don't even know if you would call them DIYs. They are so simple. I picked up this little home shelf sitter from the Dollar Tree. First thing I did was get rid of that ugly flower. That looked awful on it, but that's besides the point. I then took my sanding block and started to distress it. Well, I went a little too much. I distressed it a little too heavily. So I decided I would take some gray paint, Elephant by Waverly, and just kind of fill in a little bit of it where I have no idea why I'm doing the O, because we're going to be covering that up anyways. But that was my whole purpose, was just to kind of fill it in a little bit and leave that outside edge looking like it was distressed. So I very carefully painted all of this just so it would have that outside edge looking like it was distressed. And then I decided I didn't really like it so much. I played around with it, dried it. I mean, I really went back and forth with this. I ended up completely repainting it, guys. That's the way it goes sometimes in crafting. I'm going to take a paint marker from the Dollar General store, and I'm just going to make stitching around this. I decided that the stitching would look better than the distressing because I just was not feeling it with the distressing. It just didn't look right. Something wasn't right. I'm then going to we had an extra maple leaf left over from the garland, so I decided to use it to cover up the O in home. How stinking cute is this? And it was so easy to make, guys. So simple. Now, I needed to get rid of that hole that was at the top of the maple leaf. So I took some of that hula skirt, tied a very small little bow, just a little shoestring bow, and then glued it right on the hole. So simple, guys. So simple. Perfect for a tiered tray. Okay, so for this next one, which I told you guys these were going to be super easy. So I have got this mug that I picked up at the Dollar General for $3. Guys, if I could have found more of these, I probably would have bought a set. I think they are that cute. I love them. I've got some pumpkin something. I can't remember exactly what the scent was, but it was pumpkin something from the Dollar Tree. And this is actually, it smells really good and it's pretty strong. I'm pretty impressed with it. And then I also have 2 candles from the Dollar Tree. I'm sure you'll know where we're going with this. So I melted my candles. I'm then going to take the wick that was in each candle, just pull it out very carefully, add a little bit of hot glue, and glue it right down in the side of the bottom. Super easy. Same thing for the other wick. I just added a little hot glue and then glued it down. I'm then going to pour in one of my candles, and then I'm going to pour in one of my little scent oil things. So easy. I'm then going to pour in the other candle, and then pour in a little bit more of the scent. So I bought 2 of those scents. I didn't want to use both of them, like all of both of them, because I actually wanted to put a little bit of one in one of my warmers. So I just added just a little bit more. But check this candle out. Is this not so pretty? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this next one is not really a DIY, it's more of a hack. So I found this pumpkin pick at the Dollar Tree. So excited that I found it. I only found one though in the whole store. Took this home, took my pliers, cut the stem off, and then I took some, or not the stem, but I cut it off of the stick that it was on. The stem, that's what I meant. You guys know what I meant. Anyways, and then I took some leaves from a lamb's ear and glued in there, and that is all I did to this cute little thing. And if this is not perfect for a tiered tray, guys, I don't know what is. This is so darling. Okay, guys, so this next one is a hack as well, I would say. So I got this tag at the Dollar General store. I thought it was so cute. Like, I love it, but I didn't really have anywhere to hang it or anything like that. And I thought this would be perfect for the tiered tray video. So I found the back to a picture frame, the little kickstand part to a picture frame. First, I glued the beads back behind it. That way my beads would stay in place at all times. You know, that's not going to be like up and down and all over the place. So I then added some hot glue to the little kickstand, glued it into place. I just held it until it dried. I did stand it up so I could make sure it was going to work. But this is so cute, guys. And it is so perfect for a tiered tray. Okay, so for the 10th and final DIY, the tiered tray, we're going to be using 2 of these panels, these wood panels that I picked up in the Dollar Tree Plus section. They were $3 a piece. Super nice. I have got this spindle that I got from Lowe's. We're going to be using it. It does have a screw in the end of it. So I asked before I cut into it. Don't worry, guys. I did ask first how long that screw was inside there. But I am going to be using my Black & Decker jigsaw to cut off part of the spindle. Now we've got the perfect height for a tiered tray. This is going to be perfect. So I'm going to be using some Gorilla Glue epoxy as well as Gorilla Glue wood glue. So to use the epoxy, you just squeeze both of the little nozzle things at the same time, and the chemical will come out of there. The glue will come out of there, whatever it is. It's epoxy, so I don't really know what it is. Some kind of chemical stuff comes out. You just mix it together. Now, if strong smells or like chemically smells bother you, I probably wouldn't use this. But I've just had too many tiered trays that didn't make it. You know what I mean? So I really wanted to put this together in a good way and know that it was going to stay together. And I may end up putting a few brad nails in it as well. But anyways, I put the epoxy around the outer edge, and then I put the wood glue right in the middle of that and placed that in the center of the bottom panel. Now, the bottom panel is more like rectangle, and then the top panel is more square. I added the epoxy to the top, and I do apologize, I'm out of frame for this. I didn't realize it. But I added the wood glue right to the center, just like I did with the other one, and then I added the top to our tiered tray. Y'all, this was so easy to put together. It's going to be so, so cute. And all I did was dry brush this with a little plaster chalk paint. That was it. And check this dude out. All right, guys, that is it for today. I hope that you all have enjoyed all of these. I know that I've had a blast doing this collaboration. Don't forget, go check out the description box for the playlist. You are going to want to see what these ladies have got in store for y'all. Okay, so something else to check out. Go to ko-fi.com. Look for Blessed Beyond Measure, and that is where you can find some of the DIYs that I make on this channel, and you can actually purchase them there. Also, go check me out over on TikTok. I just got a TikTok account. I've got a few videos up, and I would love for you to go check that out. Thank you all so, so much for being with me today, and y'all have a blessed day.